Welcome to our Wabi Sabi house tour. Today, we're diving into a stunning example of Wabi Sabi design, but not just any Wabi Sabi house, a modern Wabi Sabi house that embraces the philosophy of imperfection while integrating sleek and contemporary materials. Have you ever thought about how imperfection can actually enhance beauty? In this tour, we'll be exploring the heart of Wabi Sabi interior design, where every crack, weathered surface, and natural material tells a story. This house is a perfect blend of concrete, wood, and glass, harmonizing to create a peaceful and unique living space that balances modern home decor with the humble beauty of Wabi Sabi. So, let's get started. Alright, let's dive a bit deeper into the core principles of Wabi Sabi. At its heart, Wabi Sabi is a Japanese aesthetic that finds beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. It's the opposite of sleek, polished, and mass-produced designs. And today, we're not just looking at a tiny Wabi Sabi house. This home, though modest in its design, exemplifies how Wabi Sabi can influence every aspect of modern home design, whether you're dealing with a small or larger space. Whether you're designing a tiny Wabi Sabi home or a larger modern space, these principles can transform how you think about your surroundings. The tiny Wabi Sabi house beautifully encapsulates the essence of simplicity and harmony with nature. The exterior design emphasizes natural materials, soft lighting, and minimalist geometry, creating a serene environment. The house is crafted with a blend of traditional and modern elements, focusing on balance and tranquility. The use of sliding wooden doors and large windows allows natural light to flood the space, enhancing the connection between the interior and the surrounding landscape. Inside, the Wabi Sabi-inspired home decor continues the theme of embracing imperfections and natural beauty. The interior design highlights neutral tones, organic textures, and subtle decor, such as rustic pottery and minimalistic furniture. The space promotes calmness and mindfulness, with soft lighting and simple, functional design choices that make the home feel uncluttered and peaceful. Each element, from the wooden beams to the stone accents, reflects a deep appreciation for the imperfect beauty of nature, making this tiny house a perfect example of Wabi Sabi home design. Blending modern materials like concrete, wood, and glass with the principles of Wabi Sabi isn't as easy as it sounds. Modern Wabi Sabi homes are a delicate balance of raw and refined elements. While concrete is smooth and polished, it can feel cold. Wood, on the other hand, adds warmth and life. The question is, how do you take these seemingly contradictory materials and create a home that feels alive, welcoming, and in harmony with nature? That's where the creativity of Wabi Sabi interior design really shines. Consider this. Wabi Sabi embraces the idea that things wear down over time, whether it's the patina on wood or the weathering of concrete. These materials tell stories through their imperfections, which is exactly the charm of this Wabi Sabi house. In fact, let's break down the process of selecting these materials for a modern Wabi Sabi home design. The concrete used for the walls was deliberately chosen for its texture, with slight imperfections intentionally left intact to showcase its natural aging process. The wood, too, was selected not for its perfection, but for its character, every knot and grain telling a story. Now, let's walk through the house and examine how these design elements come together. As we step into the entryway, you'll immediately notice how the textured concrete walls evoke a sense of groundedness. The use of modern home decor combined with this ancient philosophy creates an inviting yet sophisticated aesthetic. The glass windows throughout the living area invite the natural light to flood the space, but not in a flashy way. It's subdued, almost humble, echoing the quiet elegance of a modern Wabi Sabi house. In this particular design, the wood beams overhead serve as a reminder of Wabi Sabi's love for organic materials. Each beam is left in its natural form, without sanding away the imperfections. The beauty lies in the raw, unfinished look that exudes warmth. This is where Wabi Sabi home decor plays a vital role, embracing simplicity, the imperfections, and the history of the materials. Even the furniture, a combination of modern and vintage, speaks to the Wabi Sabi philosophy. The overall color palette reflects neutral tones inspired by nature-soft beiges, grays, and muted greens that help create a peaceful atmosphere. The use of natural materials extends beyond the wood beams to the floors and furniture, which are carefully chosen to reflect the beauty of the earth. The wooden floorboards, slightly weathered and uneven, embody the Wabi Sabi aesthetic of imperfection and age. Minimalist furnishings, like low wooden tables and simple cushions, create an inviting and functional space without overwhelming the senses. Even the subtle textures of woven rugs and natural fiber cushions further enhance the tactile experience of the home, bringing a sense of warmth and grounding to the interior. Additionally, the lighting in this Wabi Sabi house is deliberately soft and ambient, avoiding harsh, direct light sources. Lanterns and simple hanging lights cast a gentle glow, creating an intimate and cozy atmosphere. This design choice encourages relaxation and contemplation, making the space feel like a retreat from the busyness of modern life. The openness between the indoors and the outdoor garden, framed by large windows, strengthens the connection to nature, allowing residents to enjoy the changing seasons as part of their everyday experience of the home. Let's move on to another crucial space, the kitchen and dining area, where Wabi Sabi interior design thrives. In many tiny Wabi Sabi houses, the kitchen is a perfect example of how to blend functionality with imperfection. The countertops here are not polished marble, but rather unpolished stone. The cabinets are made of reclaimed wood with visible wear and tear that adds charm to the space. This is where practicality meets beauty. In a Wabi Sabi kitchen, you don't hide your utensils away in pristine drawers. Instead, you display them, embracing their use and history. The dining area in a tiny Wabi Sabi house follows the same philosophy. A simple wooden dining table, perhaps with uneven edges or natural grain, becomes the centerpiece of the space. The seating might consist of mismatched chairs, each telling its own story through their imperfections. This is where the beauty of Wabi Sabi shines, finding elegance in the aged and the imperfect. Earthy tones and handcrafted ceramics adorn the dining area, each piece with subtle variations, reminding us of the handcrafted nature of everyday objects. This approach creates a warm, lived-in space that feels inviting and full of character. The dining table, often the heart of the home, is crafted from reclaimed wood with a rough surface that tells the story of its previous life. Imagine sitting at a table where every groove and scratch reflects its history. This is Wabi Sabi. It's about living with materials that age, that evolve, and that hold meaning beyond their surface. Now, we've arrived at the heart of this modern Wabi Sabi house, the Zen Garden. Wabi Sabi doesn't just apply to the inside of the house, but also extends to the outdoors. This garden is a symbol of tranquility, where nature and imperfection are embraced wholeheartedly. The smooth stones, mossy patches, and meticulously raked sand might look perfectly imperfect, but they reflect the flow of nature and time. In fact, the Zen Garden plays a critical role in any Wabi Sabi home design because it invites you to pause and reflect. It's not about flashy landscaping, but about working with natural elements in their raw state. The stones, for instance, have been chosen for their irregular shapes and weathered surfaces. The moss is allowed to grow freely, reminding us of the passage of time and the beauty in letting things be. It's an oasis of calm, a reminder that home design is not just about aesthetics, but also about creating spaces for mindfulness and inner peace. As we wrap up this tour of this incredible modern Wabi Sabi house, let's reflect on what makes it so special. Every element, from the imperfect walls to the raw wood beams and tranquil Zen garden, reflects the beauty found in imperfection. It's not just a design aesthetic, it's a way of life, reminding us that impermanence is natural and there's beauty in things that are a little rough around the edges. The Wabi Sabi interior design isn't about making everything look perfect, it's about allowing things to be as they are. Whether it's a tiny home or a modern, spacious house, Wabi Sabi teaches us that imperfections are what give a home its soul. The philosophy of Wabi Sabi encourages us to embrace the beauty of imperfection, impermanence, and simplicity, and it can have a profound impact on how we approach home decor. Instead of striving for flawless perfection, Wabi Sabi teaches us to appreciate the natural aging of materials, the organic textures, and the subtle irregularities that make each piece in our home unique. Whether it's a weathered wooden table, a handmade ceramic vase, or the soft creases in linen fabric, every element tells a story and adds character to the space. Applying Wabi Sabi in home decor allows for a mindful and intentional design approach, creating an environment that feels authentic, lived in, and deeply personal. Even in a contemporary setting, the simplicity and understated elegance of Wabi Sabi can create a balanced and peaceful atmosphere. How would you incorporate these ideas into your home? Maybe you've already started, or perhaps this philosophy resonates with a change you've been considering. Let's continue this conversation and explore how embracing imperfection can lead to a deeper connection with the spaces we live in. So, what do you think about the philosophy of Wabi Sabi and how it's applied in home decor? Have you ever considered incorporating Wabi Sabi into your own space? I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you see imperfection playing a role in your home's beauty? Drop your comments down below, And let's start a conversation about how this ancient Japanese philosophy can influence modern home design today. And if you enjoyed this tour, don't forget to check out our next video where we explore even more stunning tiny Wabi Sabi houses and modern designs that incorporate the beauty of imperfection. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.